While we still got some time, let's go ahead and we can talk football at the end of the show if we have any time left. But a lot of people are wondering what you're doing now, and we kind of know what you're doing, but we want to let you share it with everybody else what you're doing
please.
now.
Well, I will just start from the beginning. When we got done playing football, we were living in Mississippi at the time. That's where we lived in Odyssey. That's where my wife was from. And we decided to move to Tuscaloosa. And when we moved there, it seemed like everything lined up. We got to buy our dream home on 22 acres, 5 minutes from the stadium. I had a beautiful wife, a beautiful son, living in a town that we loved, and got to partner with a guy in the land and timber real estate business, something that I'd always been interested in and something that I really enjoyed working in. And about last February, we were riding back, my business partner and I were riding back from a timber sale, and we got to talking about the future and where we wanted to go with the company and how we wanted to grow, and if it was going to be too fast, and just, well, if everything goes the way that we want it to go, where do you see yourself doing in 10 years? I said, well, man, if everything goes the way we want it to go, I see myself back in North Alabama. The children of Big Oak Ranch have always had a special place in my heart. But that's my dad's deal. That's my family's deal. And he raised me to be my own man. So that's what I'm out here doing, is being my own man and doing my own business and living with my own family and life. But the children have always had a special place in my heart, so I want to be involved somehow. I went home that night, and my wife and son were back in Mississippi visiting her family. And I know all of us Southern Baptists love to say the Lord spoke to me. And I can tell you in 30 years worth of living that it's the first time I truly ever felt God saying, what are you waiting on? And I was like, God, I've got everything I could want in life right now. And the key word being I. And I just truly felt this conviction that this is where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be back at Big Oak Ranch. And for 2 months, I just battled it, and I prayed about it. And after 2 months, I just totally felt convicted. This is what God had put us on earth to do. And my wife was coming down from putting our little boy to sleep, and we're sitting down at the dinner table fixing to eat supper. And I said, baby, I got to share with you what I feel God's calling us back to the ranch. And she just broke down crying. And I was like, this ain't going at all like I thought it was going to go. And once she got through crying, she said, I've been waiting on you to say that for 5 years.
So they were tears of joy.
They were tears of joy.
Hallelujah.
She said, I've been waiting on you to say that for 5 years. She said, me and your dad have spent countless hours in prayer. We spent countless hours in conversation, but we knew it had to be on God's time. We knew it had to be on your time. She said, tell me when I'll have the house packed. So
that's great.
How blessed am I that I have a wife that in 5 years of marriage never said a word to me, that was obedient enough that she knew in due time that this is where God would lead us. And even cooler, how blessed am I that I have a dad that for 30 years never mentioned one word to me about coming back to Big Oak Ranch. There was no succession plan at Big Oak, but he was faithful enough that he knew that in due time God would deliver. And it took us 30 years to figure that out. But had a very wise man tell me that if I'd have just went through high school and went to college and just left and come back, that I'd have been living off my dad's testimony, off my dad's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go out and do your own thing and have your own testimony, your own stories.
That brought you back.
And so God's timing's perfect. And we are now back at Big Oak Ranch. For those people that don't know what Big Oak Ranch is we are a Christian home for children that are just needing a chance. And this is our 40th year to have the ranch, and we've had over 1,900 kids that have called Big Oak Ranch their home.
That's amazing.
And one thing we do different is we're not an orphanage. We're not a halfway house. We are a long-term facility that we have a boys' ranch in Gadsden, Alabama, and we have a girls' ranch in Springville. And we have 19 homes, and what we do is we put a godly man and woman in that home, and we give them 8 boys or we give them 8 girls, and we say, raise them to be godly men and women. And they treat them just like family. They take them to basketball practice. They take them to baseball, to cheerleading, to soccer. They treat them like they're their own, and that's what we want. We want them to take ownership, and for our kids to see what a godly man and woman and what Christ intended for family to be. And that's what our house parents do every single day, is they live that out and show these kids how to live. And we just feel blessed that we were called back here, and we feel blessed that our family has been in this ministry for over 40 years now.
That's great. Well, I know the commercials your dad did on TV. I haven't seen any. Well, I don't do a whole lot of TV anymore. But the commercials, they just bring tears to your eyes because they were just so true about families. And I think it's great what you're doing. I think it's great what your dad did. I love the story behind that with Bear Bryant and your dad. And then now you come in full circle and you're back here. I think that's a blessing answered. I mean, there's just prayers answered.
Well, we feel blessed to be back here. And we actually just 2 weeks ago got back from, I guess it was 3 weeks ago now. We just got back from taking the whole ranch, staff, children, everyone to Disney World for the 40th anniversary.
Well, Rob and I did the show up there the week y'all were gone.
Oh, really?
We did.
Okay.
And I got a tour. And that place is amazing up there.
It is.
I mean,
and
it's just
that is actually where we live now. Me and my wife, we live at the boys' ranch with our 2 boys, and my wife said, I want our boys to grow up the same way you did. And so that's where we live, and that's where we're going to call home, and that's where we've promised all the children that there's going to be another 40 years to give kids just like them. That's great.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Someone lights the way, just a single ray of hope. Oh, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above.
Mom, Dad, this is John Croyle from Big Oak Ranch. On the day that child was given to you by the Lord, the clock started. In reality, the lifetime you have with your child is actually the 2-minute drill to eternity. Our children are counting on us to show them the way. In our recent book called The 2-Minute Drill, we go over a way to take a young boy and turn him into a man. So many times in today's society, our boys get mixed messages about what a real man looks like. One day, he's going to have a family of his own. He's going to have to stand on his own 2 feet. He's going to have to know what real manhood is, not what society dictates, but what you, as his parent, has taught him. Choose wisely. He's counting on you to show him the way.
To learn more about preparing your child for the 2-minute drill of life, visit bigoak.org/manhood.